People! Working on a 2014 Crosstrek Subaru. He's got a trailer hitch he wants me to put on. And some loud, almost fart can exhaust. First thing I'm going to do is get this muffler off. It's got to come off to get the hitch on anyways. And these nuts, they're really rusted. I think these are supposed to be a 14 millimeter, but they're rusted so bad that a 13 millimeter fits. And I'm sure if I just try to run an impact on them or do this by hand, I'll just strip them out or something. So I got some MAP gas, and I'm going to get these nuts glowing red. And then I should be able to take them off. If you do this, you're going to want to wear safety glasses because a lot of this rust, when it gets hot, it likes to pop. And you don't want this rust popping off of here and getting into your eye. I think that's hot enough. Oh my God, 13 millimeters. Too big. Looks like a 12 millimeter will work. I'm going to get this hot again. Ooh, it's still hot. Yeah, that one's going to take a 12 millimeter too. I'm not going to use a socket. I'll try to use a vice grip on this. No, I just got to get the rubber hangers off. I got one of these fancy widgets. It's an exhaust widget. Ooh, nice. I guess there's 3 of these. Now for this bumper hole. There should be a butt plug in here. You can just get your hand back in here and push it out. This one doesn't have one. There's this plastic in here you got to cut out. I'm just going to use a utility knife. Number 1 cause of stitches right here, so you want to be careful. There. That thing. Now up here, I got 3 of these plugs. And I'm going to be utilizing these 2 so this center plug can stay. I'm just going to get a pick in here and pop them out. There's 2 on each side, of course. Now as you can see, these holes are open. They're not threaded, which is really lame. So the hardest thing you're going to be doing if you do one of these is you got to drop the bolts down and then put the hitch up here while you try to line these bolts up on both sides. If you try to do it by hand that way, and it's going to be a total mother of a mother to try to do this, especially by yourself. You're going to need like 2 or 3 people to help you if you try to do it that way. And what I'm going to try to do is there's holes right here. See those holes? I'm going to try to utilize those, and there's holes on the sides of the hitch right there, and I'm going to take 2 straps, 2 separate straps, and put one on each side, and then put a ratchet in the middle. And I'm going to try to ratchet this thing up there so I can hold it in place while I try to do all of this. I got this unit too here that I could use, but they don't really work on hitches that well because the center of balance is so screwed up on these. If I try to lift it on the center here, it'll just want to flop around, and it's just a big pain in the butt. So I got to do this by myself, so I got to try to figure out a way to do this without hurting myself. There's some little brackety things I got to take off of here. I think I can just get these out with a regular screwdriver, like so. And this one I can push in from the back. I should be able to get that one out. Alright, let's see what kind of mess I can make here. Okay, I'm going to call this pretty safe enough. I'll show you what I did here. That hole ran through that hole. Same with this one, that hole ran through that hole. And then I ratcheted it up with two different straps and one ratchet. And then I took another strap and I put it right through the center of this square tube and on the torsion bar with another ratchet to pull it back so these holes can line up. And they're lined up real nice, and it's just hanging in there in the breeze all on its own, so I don't have to fight any of this stuff. Now I just got to go up top side and do the rest. Ah! That just popped in my face. The little buttons here that want to fly up in your face. This one here, right? Yup. And that should be the back hole. There's some little clippy things here I'm going to try to take out with a screwdriver. Yeah. You just pop the button out and it comes out. There's two of those. Pull that straight up. There's little panel popper thingies on here, these little white things. I'm pretty sure the next hole is right here. Oh, what the heck? I don't see it. I'm going to take this one out too, because I don't know where the heck it is. Oh yeah, I see it. The hole's actually right about here, so there's no real good access to this. That's kind of weird why they would do that. Yeah, it's like not centered. Really strange. I'll pull that panel out because I can. I can get at the hole more or less. They give you this dorky coily wire thing to try to fish bolts in there, I think. Got a bunch of bolts. These got to go down inside the frame in these holes. And they don't fit. So you're going to need a small step drill or a small keyhole for this. I think this step drill goes up to 1 inch. That should work. Oh, that's loud. Just going to use a magnet to pick up all the pieces. Okay, 1 inch fits. Barely, but it fits. The instructions tell you to take off the fascia and they tell you to take off the tail lights and the fascia and then take off the bumper, the actual steel bumper. And the reason why probably is because then you can get the bolts through the frame tube with them washers. This seems to be a little easier though. Maybe. I'm just going to drop this down here. Like so. Just line it up with this hole. Like so. You could probably use a little black tape to hold this washer on or something. I got some dum-dum. It's like black, crusty stuff. Squish that on there. That'll hold it. I might as well just leave that in, and then I'll start the washer, lock washer, nut. So yeah, it should go like this, like that. I'm going to go underneath and I'm going to start that bolt. This looks like a pain to try to get in there. Maybe I can go this way. Yeah. I can. I got you. Maybe I'll reuse this funny little fish thingy. I'm going to stick it up through the hole. The funny fish thingy. The funny fish thingy. There it is. I can just screw this on the wire. Like so. And pull it through. Oh yeah, that actually worked. Wow, that's an amazing thing. Okay, I got those bolts in there. I just got to do the same to the other side. I read the instructions. Do not cut these tabs like I did. Everything's junk now. I guess the guy can complain about me cutting the tabs on the inside of this bumper out like after he pays me and watches this video. Now before I go putting his interior parts together, I'm going to make sure these bolts tighten up without a problem. These are 19 millimeter. I think a 3/4 is the same. Now this Borgia muffler, they didn't give me any bolts or nuts, and they didn't give me a gasket. So I got some new nuts and bolts for this. I'm going to reuse this gasket. I went looking for one, I couldn't find one. I gently peeled it off of the old muffler. And there's a whole bunch of rust stuck to it. I'm going to beat some of that off. Just tap it off real nice and easy. Oh, it's junk. I can't reuse it. Yeah. 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 Alright, I found a store that's got a gasket. I'm going to get all the thick stuff off of this. Okay. I'm down with the loud. Ha 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 ha. This don't even fit now because there is a big trailer hitch in the way. He's not down with the Bajora. I would have to cut a huge chunk of metal out of that hitch to make it work. Well, I guess it's out with the old and in with the old. I have a new gasket, but regardless, I'm going to put some muffler cement on it. This is my favorite muffler stuff in the universe. cover these holes with some Gorilla Tape. I like Gorilla Tape because it's pretty waterproof, unlike regular duct tape. It's basically waterproof duct tape. There we go. It's a job. Square hole. Fancy. Okay, bye.